As a Chicago Bulls fan, and honestly, just as a fan of the game, a fan of the NBA, I am so excited. I'm sure all of us are for the official comeback of Lonzo Ball. I've been seeing some of his practices recently. A lot of those videos have been leaked on Twitter, etc. Him shooting the rock, him dunking, him driving, etc. It's been making me so hyped, so excited. And in this video, we're going to kind of dive deeper into the official comeback of Lonzo Ball, the latest news regarding his comeback, his interviews. He's been actually talking about it, everything in between. And we're just going to go ahead and give my take on it as well. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sub from STG Hoops with a brand new video. Yo, I can't believe it. The support on this channel over the past 10 days has literally been surreal. We've gained over 150 subscribers, and we're literally getting closer to that big 2,000 subscriber mark just by talking about the game that we love. It's been so humbling to see your guys' support. If you just typed in Lonzo Ball on YouTube and you came across this video, yay. All I'm asking for is a shot, man. Just by liking this video, subscribing, it just means the world. And this is something that I would love to do, full time. Who knows where this can take us, man. But hey, your support would mean the world. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Let's get straight to this. Lonzo Ball is somebody who we've all been watching for a long time. He's one of those players similar to Bronny James. Maybe not as much pressure as Bronny James, but he's one of those players, obviously because of his dad, that eyes were on him for a long time. Because of LeVar Ball, eyes obviously were not just on Lonzo, but they were on LaMelo and they were on LiAngelo as well, right? And as a father of two kids now, it's just crazy to kind of see the mindset. So I know a lot of people would hate on LeVar Ball initially, but man, this guy put a lot of work into his kids. Kids were never involved in anything too crazy, and they're really successful, right? Obviously, I'm rooting for LiAngelo. I want to see him to the top as well, but really cool to see, the work as a father from a father perspective that he did and really invested so much energy into his kids. And as a father of two boys right now who are starting basketball camp and things like that, hey, I respect it, man. So obviously with Lonzo Ball being the eldest, he was the first to kind of go through the motions, right? He was the first that we've seen in high school and the footage, etc. He was the first that we got to see at UCLA in college. And he was the first to see play for the Lakers, right? Kind of go through that progression. And Lonzo Ball is somebody who obviously isn't getting as much money as like LaMelo and things like that, but Lonzo Ball just has his own unique skill set, and I think that's something that a lot of us appreciate. He's somebody who we've actually got to see evolve as he started to gain his momentum and footing in the league. He's somebody who we've seen start with the Lakers, but then really show signs of growth with the Pelicans. That's when we started to see Lonzo Ball start to pass that rock. That's when we started to see, hey, his shot is no longer that little curvature shot that he used to do. His shot is actually starting to get a little bit more smooth. Wow, Lonzo Ball really got some good courtside vision. He can really pass the rock. Lonzo Ball can rebound. He can run the floor. He has his athleticism. Lonzo Ball is a solid player. And then finally, a couple of years ago, Lonzo Ball then signed with the Chicago Bulls. And that's 35 games. Those 35 games he played for the Chicago Bulls were like, wow, this guy, only 24 years old, 25 years old, not even in his prime yet, is literally solidifying himself as one of the most elite point guards in the game. Not necessarily from like a 30 points a game perspective, but from an overall package, this guy is the real deal. In those 35 games, he solidified himself in that. And unfortunately, with the injuries that he had to go through, we haven't seen him play in 2 years, man. Those injuries, or that injury that he went through, was pretty devastating because one of the last players that I know who had this injury, he didn't really play anymore, and that's Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy is somebody who I revere him a lot, man. He's been through a lot. He literally was one of my favorite players growing up, and if he didn't get injured, he would probably go down as a Hall of Famer and an all-time great. He just showed that much promise, explosiveness, mama mentality, game winners, everything in between. But that knee injury with no cartilage and things like that, the technology just wasn't there to get him back. And he came back, I believe, with the Mavericks for like 8 games or so, and it just didn't work out for him. He's doing well. I wish him the best. But Lonzo Ball, with technology and everything kind of being a little bit different now, look at Achilles injuries, right? It went from a year, and now the Aaron Rodgers surgery gets you back in like 6 months, right? So Lonzo Ball undergoing this, a lot of people started to say, because this injury happened a couple years ago, and Lonzo Ball missed 2 seasons, and because of that, it kind of started to feel like he ain't coming back. And we've been hearing reports after the surgery, he has no sign of running, no sign of sprinting. This is maybe early this year, sometime last year, and it kind of came to a point where it's like, it's done, man. Lonzo Ball's career is done, unfortunately. But something happened, man, in the past year, in 2024, where now we're starting to see him shoot around. Now we're starting to see him more vocal in actual podcasts. And now he's actually kind of talking about it. And none of this is his fault. You can't control when injuries happen to you. But starting to see these clips, there's been a lot more optimism. That is the word, like from a Chicago Bulls fan perspective, but also just from a fan of the game, especially a Lonzo Ball fan perspective. There's been a lot more optimism on his return. So it's really, really great to see, because we saw what he did in those 35 games. Man, with Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Caruso, Vooch, that core, bro, we were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if y'all can remember back then, but the Bulls were literally the number 1 team in the league. But from a Lonzo Ball perspective, bro, his eyesight, his vision was just elite. Not only that, he literally went from a 38% three-point shooter to a 44% three-point shooter. That's something he was criticized for when he first started because of his crazy unorthodox shot. And now this brother made it so smooth and so efficient. 44% ain't no joke, dog. That's what he was doing, almost a block a game for a guard. He was getting about 5-6 assists a game, 5-6 rebounds a game, 14 points a game. Like, bro, and that's with a DeMar who wants to get his shots, with a Zach LaVine who has to get his shots, with Vucevic who had to get his shots. That's 3 All-Stars. You know what I'm trying to say? So that just shows you the type of player Lonzo Ball was. He was just the general. He was that floor general who could make it happen. And it doesn't matter if he's on the Bulls this season. It doesn't matter where he goes. If he can even play similar to how he played, that's missing in the NBA, man. That is missing a true point guard who has the vision, who has the shot, who has the athleticism, right? So Lonzo Ball is getting there. In a recent podcast, he literally mentioned that he has been doing a lot of intense one-on-one sprints, things of that sort. But next month, he's officially going to be cleared to be playing 5-on-5 games, right? Obviously practice. He hasn't done that in years. So it's all cap. He definitely has, probably played light 5-on-5s, but, we're going to probably see footage on Twitter of him actually doing 5-on-5 sprinted games, right? That is something that's going to really show his progression, because at the end of the day, man, if you've been injured, I've been injured many times, you can play a 32, you can play one-on-one, you can just play half-court games. But when you're playing full-court games and you got to sprint back and forth every single possession, that's a different level. That there's levels to the game, right? So that's the next level to the game for Lonzo Ball. But if he can do this and do this well, look, it's only July. August is right around the corner. Guess what, man? He still has all of August, all of September, and then part of October. That's 3 months. And even if he has to come back in November, December, whatever, really cool to see Lonzo Ball actually making it happen. Lonzo Ball, I am so proud of you, bro. As a Bulls fan, we've seen the theme of our team, resilience, man. That's it. Whether you come back and play the same way or you don't, I think there's a theme of resilience. Looking back at Derrick Rose, who was so resilient and came back, and now I'm seeing reminiscences of that with my man Lonzo Ball. The fact that he didn't give up, the fact that he has been putting the work in, has not been slowing down, and is looking back to come back. Hey, you never know, man. He comes back this season, the young core of this Bulls who's supposed to tank. I don't know if we're tank worthy. We talked about that in our last video. But yo, in the comments down below, let me know what you think about Lonzo Ball. Do you think he's going to come back this season? How is he going to play? I had to make a video showing how proud I am of Lonzo Ball, and I can't wait, man. Thank y'all for the support, man. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. 2K subscribers. I can't believe we're almost there, man. This is so humbling. Y'all are amazing, and I'll see you soon, man. Peace.